was from the Adults Health Select Committee in relation specifically to the Mindworks and neurodevelopmental pathway. And I think Trevor Hogg's chairman of that select committee, you're going to introduce it. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. And I would also add it was a joint committee with the Children, Families and Lifelong Learning Select Committee as well. And yeah, quite correctly, it's about Mindworks and the neurodevelopmental pathway, and I had to practice to get that out in one go, so congratulations for your attempt. But what needs to be clearly understood by all really is that the possession of neurodivergent traits is much more frequent than generally appreciated, and that children, young people, families and adults can all be affected, often without it being identified. What we've seen with Mindworks, the neurodevelopmental pathway, is much higher volumes than were anticipated, and that has brought with it problems. It's a national problem really though, because it's a national approach to this, in fact. The process we currently operate cannot cope with the volumes we now realise are involved. Reliance on the use of highly qualified specialists as the gatekeepers to resources will not suffice. There are far too few, and it takes far too long to recruit and train them if we're to actually address the demand we see today. We need to move to a very different model where parents can be locally supported and where individual help, support and treatment, if appropriate, can all happen in advance of a formal diagnosis. And that needs concerted action by families, the community, schools, the NHS, local authorities and government to work together in a system-wide approach. Our recommendations are in relation to transformation and how we actually change from one model to a different community-based approach. I'm therefore asking Cabinet to use every opportunity to lobby government, because it's clearly going to need resources and change in schools and education and all those things as well. But we need to focus our resources on bringing about change in how neurodiversity is handled in Surrey. And I'm very pleased to see in the response to our recommendation some really strong, effective actions are proposed. So I look forward to a time where society as a whole recognises the issues the neurodivergent face, gives them appropriate help and support, and celebrates as well the different ways of thinking that they actually bring to us and the positives that come with that.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Claire, did you want to respond, please?
Yes, I think it was very clear at the meeting of the two select committees that there were a great deal of frustration felt by schools, by families, by young people relating to the neurodevelopmental pathway. And although the assessment service isn't being delivered by this council, but we understand the impact the delays are having on those families and on those schools, and how important it is for children to get the service that they need from their wider support systems, perhaps even more important at the moment, which does include our own services and in our schools. I completely concur with what Trevor has said, and I know that Mindworks has responded to the specific recommendations that were made, and that there is a plan really to try to right-size to address the difficulties in the system, and collectively for us all to work for a better system for the future. Thank you, Leader.